St. Jude Regional Catholic School faces scrutiny for a hairstyle policy in their student-parent handbook. According to the handbook, hair should be neat and clean, and any form of braids, cornrows, twists, or dreadlocks are prohibited. One local parent found this upsetting.
I had been mulling over my options of what to do when I had read the statement in the handbook prohibiting certain hairstyles that my children tend to have in their hair.
And how did that make you feel as a parent whose student wears hairstyles similar to that?
We want to set them up for success to do the best that they can. And if this is setting them at a disadvantage on something that they have absolutely no control over, this is how they naturally are.
Cassandra Forrester has 2 children set to attend the private school.
As a new parent, you're nervous and you're trying to read through and make sure you check all the boxes, follow all the rules. And so I went through and just made sure we had done everything to prepare them so they could be set up for success.
That's when Forrester decided to take it a step further.
I happened to see on Instagram that Councilman Jawando had posted about the Crown Act, which I know about, but I didn't know what was happening in my own county about it. And I took it as a sign that I could reach out to him.
The Crown Act stands for creating a respectful and open world for natural hair, similar to the hairstyle I'm wearing now. The legislation prohibits discrimination on natural hairstyles typically worn by African Americans, including braids, afros, and twists, the very style St. Jude seemed to outlaw.
It said, above all, the most important, and I'm paraphrasing, is that the hair is clean and neat, and not offensive in any way, something like that. It definitely uses the words clean and neat. And then you have the next sentence that these things are prohibited, which clearly sets up the presumption and the negative stereotype that these hairstyles are not that, and which is the whole reason that around systemic racism and why this is such a dangerous and corrosive thing.
County Council member Will Jawando spearheaded the Crown Act legislation.
So it provides that discrimination protection, but it also sends a very strong message that you are enough, you are worthy, the way you were created, and you should be able to interact in the world in any way as anyone else.
After being contacted by Forrester, Jawando sent a letter to St. Jude in the Archdiocese of Washington. He urged them to end the school's policy prohibiting natural hairstyles.
The response was a positive one in that the Archdiocese and the school principal, who wrote back to me as well a couple days later, said that they have not been enforcing this and that they were updating. They're in the process of updating their handbook.
The Archdiocese of Washington also responded on the school's behalf in a statement to MyMCM, stating that each school monitors and revises as necessary its handbook policies to ensure they are inclusive and culturally sensitive. It also reads that leadership at St. Jude Regional Catholic School in Rockville was already in the process of reviewing and updating its school handbook.
I'm glad they're doing that. I had offered to them in response that we can work with them on developing some language, and or happy to meet with them as they're working out the new policy. We haven't heard back from them yet, but the response I did get was that they are updating the policy and that they're removing the language.
What do you hope to come from this, being that that is a private institution?
And while we want people to do the right thing, which was basically my letter, I said, even though you're not subject to the law, I hope that you would comply with the law. And because it's the right thing to do.
My issue isn't with the school. I'm still sending my kids there. My hope is that this kind of opens up a dialogue within the Catholic Church and the school systems in general to take a look at ourselves as a Catholic and realize what kind of biases that we're still carrying over that we deem as, it's harmless. It's just old. We would never use it, but it is harmful. It is hurting somebody. And let's not dismiss it. Let's do something proactively, and let's take a really good look at everything and make sure we're kind of fine-tooth combing our systems.
Jordan Lindsay, reporting for MyMCM.
If you find our videos useful to you, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.